And so I put on a 32-pound vest, and it burns more calories by doing the same activity. And that is what I believe will happen if you will lean in for 45 minutes and really understand what we're doing. And so I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna jump in. If y'all have questions, feel free to ask them, and we can stop and talk about them, or we can wait and answer them later. Y'all are the bosses, whatever you want to do. Are y'all seeing my screen?
Yes.
So here we go. So creating digital relationships that outlast real ones. For those of you that don't know, I spent a decade as a pastor. And so I got to preach to teenagers for 10 years. I got to preach to the church multiple times to tens of thousands of people. That is what I did in my previous life. But then God moved me into roofing because God has a sense of humor. And he put a 300-pound man on a roof for a living. And it was a tumultuous 3 years, but I'm so thankful for those years because it led me to where I am today. And I started teaching classes about social media to rooms full of two people. And then for all different sizes since then. And so I have done a lot of things. I've been a lot of places, but one thing has remained the steadfast, and it is that I've always understood my why. And the reason I show you my why, which is my wife and my three kids, the reason this matters is because what I'm going to ask you to do today is hard. And if you do not have clarity on why it is worth doing hard things, you will not do those hard things. And so you better have clarity on why you wake up every day and face challenges and overcome them. And this is mine. And I'm sure yours is similar. And so, enough about me. I want to jump into this thing. So, this is most of you. You have said one, if not all of these things. I need more likes. I need more followers. I need more shares. I need more fill in the blank. I need to go viral. I need to promote this listing, these buyers, this closing photo. Have we all lived in this space before? There's a lot of I's in these statements, aren't there? Me, my. Guess what? Nobody cares about you because they're too concerned caring about them. And so if we make our attempt to do social media and ultimately get in front of the camera about ourselves, we will fail over and over and over again. And so here's what I want to ask you. Do you have, across all your platforms, do you have 1,000 followers? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. If we added up all the different platforms, are you at least at 1,000 people? Hopefully the answer is yes. Even if it's not and you're like, ooh, 700, bear with me, you're still going to win. So now another question. Is 1,000 higher than the amount of deals that you want to do the rest of this year? I mean, hopefully, right? And so it doesn't matter if your goal for the rest of the year is 10 more deals. Your goals are 100 more deals for the rest of the year. No number that any of you have is anywhere close to the amount of people you already know. It's nowhere close. But then let's put a little cherry on top. Do those 1,000 people know people? And I'm not good enough at math to do the math of like, well, how many people is it that you have influence over? If 1,000 people know 300 people, right? Like, it's a lot of people. Why am I forcing you through this exercise? Because I want you to adopt this new mindset. You don't need more people. You need to show up consistently to the people you already know the right way. Guys, it blows my mind that I have been serving realtors now for over a decade, and it never fails. I show up to an event, I show up to a virtual Zoom, and somebody is in my DM going, How do I get more followers? You didn't teach me how to get more followers. How do I get more views to my videos? You didn't teach me how to get more views to my videos. How do I get to 10,000 followers on Instagram? Because I really want 10,000 followers on Instagram. How do I go viral? Because I really want to go viral. And when I can get them to slow down and ask them, hey, tell me again, why do you want to go viral? Hey, tell me again, why do you want 10,000 followers on Instagram? Because you just told me you want to do 40 deals this year. You need 10,000 people to do 40 deals? And guys, what always happens is people begin to realize I am letting my ego drive my decisions. Because that's what ego wants. Oh, I want to feel cool. I need to go viral. I want to feel cool. I need tons of followers. When the reality is, you already know enough people to be more successful than you currently are. And that's the goal of today. And so, if you'll humor me for a moment, and if you're disgusted by this image that I'm about to show you, I apologize. But a few months back, Mary, it's not, I'm being a little facetious, it's not going to be bad. You won't, so I, it'll be okay. I saw your face. I asked ChatGPT a few months ago to create an image of what it thinks a belly to belly meeting looks like. Because Don's already losing it. Because this is, guys, isn't this our world? If you've been doing real estate for over 10 years, you've always done business belly to belly, shoulder to shoulder. All right. I've trained thousands of realtors and lenders that all say, man, if I can get you belly to belly, if I can get you shoulder to shoulder, I'm going to win. That's old school sales. Well, here's what AI showed me belly to belly. Pretty disgusting, right?
Pretty funny.
And my first thought was, this isn't what I was going for when I asked that prompt. My second thought was, as silly as this image is, I think this is how silly we sound now when we still crave belly to belly because it's not necessary. Not that we can't and we won't do it, but here's what I've learned video is belly to belly. Why do I know this? Because right now, my brain says, you hung out with Mike and Mary today. You saw Anna today. You got to see Dawn today, and you haven't talked to Dawn in a while. Wasn't that great to see her and catch up? Guys, my brain doesn't go, this isn't real. You're on Zoom. Guys, our brains are very primitive in nature, right? The same brain that a caveman had that was hunting and gathering and running away from a dinosaur. It's the same brain that we use every day. And so my brain doesn't know, oh, well, that was only Mike virtually. So you don't really know if you can trust him yet. No, my brain goes, you hung out with Mike today. Whether it was at Starbucks in Florida or Minnesota, wherever you guys are today, or it was virtual. Our brains say, I love Mike. I love Kyle. It was so great to see him. And so, this is why there is so much power in using video to elevate, right? Elevate everything you're already doing. When the sweat hogs get together and start sweating over the phone, you know what would elevate your sweat hog session? Sending a video to everyone that doesn't answer the phone. Hey, it's Kyle. Sorry I missed you. Hope you guys are doing well. Would love to catch up soon when you get a chance. Do you think that's going to get a greater response than leaving a voicemail? 100%. Because it's a human being, not just a voice behind a device. And so this is what I want us to jump into. And so for my data people, Think about these three things. One, the average internet user watches 17 hours of video a week. That's crazy. And you know what's even crazier to me is that to get to the law of average, that means that there has to be people doing less and more, which means there's some people watching 0 hours of video a week, but it also means there's people watching 50. My grandparents are 87 and 89. And the other day, my grandpa was telling me that he fixed his deck watching a YouTube video. I, and I said, Grandpa, you're a millionaire. You're 89 years old. What in the world are you doing fixing your own deck? But then I didn't even know you knew what YouTube was. 89 years old using YouTube. And so this is not this, yeah, but I don't work with young people. You're missing it. If that is the way you think about this, you are missing it. Because think about this. For anyone on here that has grandkids, do you FaceTime your grandkids? Do you wish that FaceTime would go away so you could just talk on the phone? Absolutely not. Why? Because there's power in being able to see each other and have that communication. This is why this matters. 73% of buyers prefer learning from a brand through video. Anna, you hate FaceTime? What is wrong with you? I'm going to start FaceTiming you once a week so you can practice. So you're welcome. And by November, when we're together, we'll be able to stand on stage side by side with you having conquered your fear of FaceTime. So I'll do that for you, free of charge. Here's the thing. If this number is true, which I believe it is, 73% of buyers prefer learning about a brand through video. If somebody is referred to you, guys, this is my greatest fear for some of you, is if somebody goes, oh, you don't know Kelly Parker? Oh my gosh, she's the greatest realtor I've ever known. I would never consider buying or selling a house with anyone else. 20 years ago, that person picks up the phone and calls Kelly. And Kelly's job is so easy at that point because that person already sold her. Now, Kelly may never even know that that conversation happened because that person is going to open their phone, put her name in Facebook, in YouTube, in Google, and if they can't find validating things about Kelly that their friend said, they won't call Kelly. And then Kelly's going to be sad during coaching, and she's going to tell Mike or Dawn, my referrals are down. I don't know what to do. And the only thing broken in your system may be that there isn't enough good things about you representing you online.